Good evening. By the grace of Emperors Nicholas and Alexander, welcome to the 2033 General Election Debate. We are joined today by representatives of the Finis and Friends Coalition and the Change Coalition. It has been an exciting few weeks in the election, with debates over the Senate, reproductive rights and accusations against each other of heinous crimes. Tonight, we have leading politicians to hear their ideas and plans to tackle the huge challenges facing Gaul. The rules of the debate tonight: 1. Each representative has 1 minute and 30 minutes to make an opening statement. In response to questions from the moderator, representatives will have 1 minute and 30 seconds to respond. For rebuttals, the representatives may have 30 seconds. Party representatives may not interrupt each other during protected time. Protected time is questions from the moderator and the 1 minute and 30 seconds for a primary response. Rebuttals aren't protected time, therefore you may interrupt each other during a rebuttal. After rebuttals, we may permit a 2-minute open debate period on the representatives' positions. There will be, at the end, a 5-minute open debate period between the representatives. And each representative will have 1 minute and 30 seconds to make a closing statement. We will fact-check statements on and off requests. We have multiple fact-checkers today, and we're ready to start the debate. I'll move now. We'll go left to right. We'll start with the Change Coalition partner, David Remith, with his opening statement. Thank you. We do in fact have a fact check. The May 7th attack and coup attempt on Gaul was from Iron, not August the 8th. Thank you. We will now move to the Finis and Friends candidate, Emma Goldman-Kelleher. So, I don't know about anyone else, but I can't hear you, and I haven't started the timer yet.
Are you able to hear me now?
There we go. Right,
Sorry,
time starts.
Yeah. This election is not just about who becomes the next Prime Minister. Today, it's about deciding who will lead Gaul into the safety for the next few years. The Finis party over the last 8 years has brought in safety measures that have protected everyone, not just the party. It has introduced essential legislation to operate the banks, passports, identity cards, all under a Finis government. The Change Coalition has fell apart more than once. The Finis Coalition has not. All parties in the Finis and Friends Coalition have remained together since the coalition was formed. Yet Change has lost 2 parties. It's constant hypocrisy from the Change Party, and I can promise you, if I become Prime Minister, you will not hear this hypocrisy. I will put my hand up when I have made a problem and admitted. That is something that I have not seen Change do very often. Thank you.
Thank you. We will move on to our first questions. The questions for this debate are split into different sections. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 different sections. We will be starting with economic questions. First and foremost, the outgoing government under Ms Dives was pushed to pass a budget. No such budget has been seen. The Curia will be dissolved next week, meaning that there can be no such budget. Will the candidates on stage committing to passing a budget, and if so, what will such a budget contain? We start with whoever. I honestly don't care. I'll give it to the producers. Start with Kelleher then. You've got 1 minute 30.
A budget was pushed for several times by myself. I did reach out to members of the party trying to get information for the budget, just so that I can only apologise for not having. But I can guarantee you, under me as Prime Minister, there will be a budget that represents citizens, taxing the rich and ensuring that the working class get only fair treatment. We have seen it time and time again under different ideologies, people trying to take away money, but that is not something that is going to happen to our working class, because it's something that I am so important. Something I care about so much. It's the working class. Like, they fund and run our economy, and under my government, the working class will be treated fairly, the way they should be.
Thank you. We now move to Mr. Remith. You've got 1 minute 30. Thank you. Both candidates have 30 seconds for rebuttals. Do either of you have a rebuttal to start with? Okay, go ahead, you've got 30 seconds.
I don't think wanting the working class to be able to function on their day-to-day lives is just social democratic views. I think from any person who comes from a working class background, no matter what your ideology is, I think it's understandable to want that for yourself, and that's, as I said, something I will vouch for, no matter whether I'm in government or out of it. Thank you.
Okay, and Mr. Remith, your rebuttal. Okay, that's 30 seconds. Thank you. We move on to the second question now. It was recently announced that the Australian Federal Republic passed, approved, and now has the lowest corporate tax rates ever at 10%. This has in fact enticed corporations and businesses to move to Australia. With this figure being astonishingly low, do the candidates have any hopes of lowering Gaul's corporate tax rates to 10%? Sit down in the audience, I see you. With this figure being astonishingly low, do any candidates have any hopes of lowering Gaul's corporate tax rate to 10% or lower than it is currently to incentivise businesses to return to Gaul? We will start with Mr. Remith. When the camera changes. Okay, X. There we go. We're starting with Remith. Sort of what I said. Thank you. Okay, if we now move to Miss Kelleher.
That's funny. You criticized me for speaking left wing, and now you're starting to speak like someone who's right wing. I believe that businesses are one of the big backbones of our companies. With people, our citizens working in those businesses, tax rates need to be lower. Those tax rates are going to help our businesses pay our working class more, so our working class can afford the basics in the day-to-day that they need day to day. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We have 30 seconds for rebuttals. Do either of you have any rebuttals? Okay, we'll go with David Remith for a rebuttal. Why are we being so civil? You guys can interrupt each other in rebuttals. I hope you remember that.
I mean, raising wages is a standard thing. I don't think businesses are going to keep their employees if they're not raising raising wages. So I think lowering the corporate tax rate is one of the first ways to start that. Thank you very much.
It's 30 seconds. We move on to question 3. Currently, many families across Gaul are struggling right now, and they do not live as extravagant lives as those candidates on stage. They spend their money on their gas, electricity, paying for their rent or on their house, such as mortgages, and for food. Right now, people across Gaul are voting to survive, not to live life. What do you candidates have as actual plans to help people get out of positions such as this? We'll start with Miss Kelleher.
I intend on introducing in my first budget measures to help citizens of Gaul. I intend on freezing certain taxes. I intend on increasing payments such as child benefit. I intend on increasing the minimum wage to even a small bit more livable than what it currently is. As I have said previously, and as I will continue, I intend to make sure that people in Gaul can live and work daily and get by. I do not want people. I come from a working class or a middle class background. I know what it's like to struggle, and I want people to be able to work and be able to live properly. I am very lucky that I am very privileged that I was able to work to where I am today, but I know people aren't, and I want to make sure people are treated fairly. And thank you.
Okay, move to Mr. Remith. Okay, we now move to both candidates for 30 seconds of rebuttals. A reminder that this is not protected time. You can interrupt each other. Go ahead.
The leader of Change said, "We act, we don't speak." I haven't seen you actually do anything. You haven't been in government, so you haven't actually acted. You aren't lowering wages or lowering taxes or trying to help the working class. You literally have not done anything in that section. So I don't know why you're making up lies that aren't. Then why are you saying you acted because you're not doing anything? So don't make up more lies like that.
That's 30 seconds. I'm going to remind candidates that we are expected to follow somewhat parliamentary procedure here. You're allowed to fight. This is a debate. But rules of decency and humanity. That's all we have on economics so far. We're now going to move to what I've labelled as party political questions. First, female voters have excessively polled in favour of the Finis and Friends coalition. With this in mind, what are the candidates doing specifically to ensure a safe female voter base? We will go to Miss Kelleher.
Well, I think, just to kind of relate to your question, women want someone they can look up to in power. They want someone they know is going to fight for their rights, but also for fair treatment. I intend to make sure to introduce measures to keep women safe. I intend to introduce higher and more serious prosecutions for those people who are inciting violence against women. As a woman myself, I have faced and I have seen issues, but I know that there are women out there who need certain protections, and I intend, if I do become Prime Minister, to make sure that happens. Thank you.
Okay, and we move to Mr. Marimis. We move 30 seconds to rebuttals.
I don't think it's identity politics for me as a woman to want women to be safe. I think that's very much a basic thing that everyone wants. And I'm the Chancellor. I am not the Minister for certain subjects. You are actually the Minister for Justice, so why haven't you done anything about it yourself? You're the Minister for Justice. Maybe you should be out there introducing some sort of measures. I'm the Chancellor, not the Minister of Justice. So
okay,
he's not in the debate, is he? It's the Minister of Justice.
Okay, that has been 30 seconds. I'm gonna remind. I don't know how to say it. Fact check, I guess. The Minister of Home Affairs isn't responsible for female and feminist policies. That would be the Minister for Equality. I don't know who that is. I'm just trying to find out very quickly. I know for a fact that it's not me because I would never take such a shitty job. Sue me for it. We have none, it appears. Sorry, Asmodus Moilainen, Minister for Equality acting. So, yeah, let's not bring my job up because it's not part of my job. We move to the second question, party political questions. Why is it that when parties want your vote, they promise lots of things, but when they're elected, they actually get nothing done? We move to Mr. Remit. Thank you.
apologies.
Right, we move. You do not call anyone a hoe in this room. Right. We move to Miss Kelleher.
Do I need to remind Mr. Remus about the 17 pieces of legislation, most of which were created that passed in the last in the Patrician Committee? The Finnist Party is going through with its promises, and I intend, if I become Prime Minister, to go through with my promises. I will be willing to be held accountable, and I will be available for everyone, no matter whether my constituents or not, for them to hold me accountable for what I make promises. If I make a promise, I will go through with it. If it involves me doing countless hours, or even days of research on one particular topic, I will do it to make sure that my constituents get what I promise, and the people of Gaul get what I promise to them.
Okay, thank you. We move to 30 seconds of rebuttal.
Just because Michael O'Reilly made those bills does not mean it didn't have. Sorry, apologies. Did not have other. Do you know? Are you forgetting the bill I pushed? Two bills that I was involved in pushing through: the Identity Cards and Passports Act and the Gaelic Central Bank Act. Did I not pass those? Were those not my bills? No. Apparently they were Michael O'Reilly's. Well, I'm the leader, but you're so obsessed with debating O'Reilly that I don't know why you're even here. I mean, I don't know why you're here if you want to debate him. Well, I am
that
leader.
Was 30 seconds. Sorry, I'm just trying to make notes. You guys are so funny. I'm making notes so that we can review this in Finnist Party headquarters. We move on now to Curia questions. I don't actually know what the fuck that means. The rhetoric has been ramped up in the election. Do you plan to work with the opposition? Don't tell me language, this is my show. Do you plan to work with the opposition, whoever it is, if you win in government? And are there some issues that you would refuse to work with them on? For example, would you refuse to work with the opposition on your budget? We move to whoever didn't answer first last time, so we're going to move to Remus. Okay, thank you. We move to Miss Kelleher.
I mean, that's such great information from the lead Mr. Remit. I intend to work with the opposition when possible, or if I'm the opposition, with the government when possible, to work on a majority of issues. There's a few issues that I have no intention on working on with, because those are the stances that I will continue to take for all my time as Prime Minister. Nothing will be able to get them out of me. But when it comes to the budget, if it somewhat reflects what we're willing for, and if the government are willing to take, or the opposition, depending on which stance I'm in, are willing to take my and our party's opinions and suggestions, then I mean, yeah, as long as Mr. Remit actually makes himself available to me.
Okay, we move into 30 seconds of rebuttal. I'm going to presume that there's no rebuttal, because you both basically said the same thing here. Oh, there is rebuttal. Nothing for me to write down.
If you're referring to the speech where you threatened to sue me, I did in fact read your speech. But
okay, that's 30 seconds. Gonna quickly plug my speech. 15 pages, not that long, guys. Get ChatGPT to condense it. We're going to move on to the next question. That has been way more than 30 seconds. In a long-winded speech, Lord Percival announced that he would establish and enforce O'Reillyfication, his own personal ideology, into the Senate. Do the candidates on stage support this? And what do they plan on doing in terms of the management of the Senate? I move to Miss Kelleher.
Well, I intend on working with Mr. O'Reilly as one of my very loyal party members, and a very close friend of mine. I intend on working with him. I think that every person and every group of people are entitled to an ideology, and I very much agree with him. The censor is in charge of the Senate, so I do not want to have any control over what goes on the Senate. That is up to the censor, and I have full faith, no matter who the censor is, that they will do their job the way they should. And as from experiences with seeing Mr. O'Reilly, he has done his job excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We move to Mr. Remus. Okay. Do we have any rebuttals? Apparently not. Okay. The Patrician Committee has recently expanded its doors to more religious unions and organisations, giving better representation to communities across Gaul. Reform such as this is Reform such as this is becoming more and more popular. Reform such as this is becoming more and more popular. Do the candidates support Patrician Committee reform? And if so, what reform do they hope to influence? And if they don't, why do they not? We'll start with Mr. Remus. Kelleher.
No, I don't think that we should be allowing people to get to reach such reforms. Patricians must remain the body of review for all legislation and decisions passed by the government, whether we are in opposition or the government itself. It is a body bigger and higher than the Senate, and we must support the Emperor's right to use the Patrician Committee. I don't believe that allowing such organizations to influence decision making is vital to what our economy and our country as a whole. I think that the way the committee is operating now is good, and it does not need changes. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to presume that we have rebuttal. Yeah, we do. So we move to 30 seconds of rebuttal.
I mean, I'm not joking. The patricians are a review body, not a representative body. The Senate is elected to represent people of Gaul. If that cannot be done, the problem is within the Senate, not the Patrician Committee. The Patrician Committee is not elected, and it does not hold representatives that are elected.
Now. Thank you. We now move to the largest segment, interior questions. This deals with matters of the interior, home affairs, healthcare, coups, Yan'an, I don't know. Question 1. With both alliances building platforms on the issue of reproductive rights, if either of you elected, will either of you change Gaul's current laws on abortion? We start with Ms. Kelleher.
The laws that were implemented by my predecessor stand with where the party's views are. I have no intention of easing restrictions. Something that I did say, but it is something that I have no intention of doing anymore. My opinion has changed and my mind is set that there will be no changes in the way the laws are currently implemented. Thank you.
Okay, and we move to Mr. Remus.
People's views change,
Okay.
Mr. Remus.
Right, we're going to move to rebuttal then.
Apologies, sorry. And also, remember, I refuse that any abortion legislation will get onto the Senate floor. Like, people will... Oh, apologies, sorry, I mixed myself up. The censor, Lord Perverson, has refused it, and I believe that I intend to refuse as well.
I'm not a pervert.
Sorry, I do apologize for my pronunciation. Mr. Remus, you've been known to be a bit flip-floppity yourself with your opinions, so I don't know why you're jumping on me the second I change my view.
Blah blah, it's been 30 seconds. Fact check what? What are we fact checking now? What's incorrect? Okay, can we just get the fact checkers backstage to work on this in production? Do we have a choice? Oh, on the flip-flopping thing? That's not a fact, that's just her opinion. Grow up. Right, thank you. We are going to turn to one of the biggest questions. This is two separate questions. It's time to address the elephant in the room, an issue that has shaped Gaul's politics throughout this entire term. The influence of Roblox Eurovision Song Contest communities in Gaul and the ongoing war on doxing. First part of this question is directed towards Ms. Kelleher. Since your first appointment to government in 2032, you have personally witnessed the corruption that the Cavender family brought into the cabinet during the second Dives ministry. You were also allegedly a supporter of the former patrician chancellor's attempt to remove Miss Dives from power, despite her allegations against Miss Maruaha regarding her connection to the Maddie doxing scandal and her alleged ties to the RRP insurgency. Given all of this, why should voters trust you now? You have 1 minute 30.
I'd just like to make a point about what you said regarding the former patrician chancellor. She manipulated a majority of those people into those views. That was not something that I originally intended, but the evidence that I remember seeing looked pretty manufactured now that I think about it. Those voters from the Roas community have been so loyal to me, and some of them are members of my party. I have worked with them and I intend on working with them to tackle the corruption of the groups such as these doxing rings, and I intend on working with people from those communities to tackle that. Thank you.
Thank you. We move to the second part of the question directed towards you, Mr. Remus. We're not going to have rebuttal time for it because you have both had a lot to say on Twitter about this. Why should voters place their trust in change after your alleged involvement in the August 15th RRP insurgency, and more specifically, why should voters trust your leadership when you knowingly invited an RRP member into your alliance? You have 1 minute and 30 seconds. That has been 1 minute 30. It's the only question we've had so far where someone has gone over the time limits. So quite shocking to myself, hopefully to everyone in the audience as well. As a follow-up, 2 weeks ago, Roblox announced that it would introduce a new age check verification system that divides... Sit down in the audience! That divides users into age groups and restricts communication between them. This system becomes mandatory in January, and many expect it to have a significant impact, not only on Gaul, but on the entire roleplay genre across the platform. When this update, you don't tell the deputy moderator to shut his mouth. Can you all shut up? When this update is implemented, what will you do to ensure that Gaul can continue functioning effectively? We start with Mr. Remith. Thank you. We now move to Ms. Kelleher.
I would agree with Mr. Remit that it is a hard issue to, apologies, to answer, but I find it interesting that he pretty much just talked about himself the whole time. He said he was one of the biggest people affected by it, but I actually would disagree with that, and I would say that His Majesty the Emperor would be one of the people who would be more affected by it. The majority of this community are at a younger side, 13, 14, 15 and 16, and a lot of those people after January will not be able to communicate with him over chat unless they are a friend. I would hope that members of this community would start using their voice more often. We have access to these and we're very lucky that we do. I just find it interesting that, like, Mr. Riemann, obviously I don't expect him to use his voice, but I find it interesting that then he complains that it's hard. So
thank you. We have 30 seconds for rebuttals.
And I mean, I did say that I don't expect you to use it. Like, I did say I don't expect you to use it, and I understand you are uncomfortable. Like, I'm not disagreeing with you, but there's people in this community who might not maybe be comfortable, but it doesn't mean that they might be comfortable, they just haven't used it because it hasn't been more accessible. You know, if we had more channels and where that we can communicate in game, that might be an implement. So that could be something for the community. Something do you think?
Thank you. We move on to the next question. This one's going to be quite hard hitting to home for some people. I don't care. I was handed this question. I didn't come up with this one, shockingly. On the topic of child safety, this is question 11, sorry, I just have to note that down. On the topic of child safety, the Gallic Intelligence Service recently reported that over the past 5 years, it has investigated and removed 6 individuals from Gaul for pedophilia. Some of the more prominent figures removed include the Emperor Consort and former Senator Margaret Bridgman. In response, His Majesty the Emperor has declared a state of emergency for child safety. Given these developments, what specific actions will you take to ensure that minors in Gaul are better protected? Before I ask you, I will expect a response and I will call you out if you don't respond. This is a serious issue and this is something that many people have been affected by in Gaul. We will start with Miss Kelleher.
I think it's such a hard issue to answer, and I intend on answering the question to the best of my ability, but I definitely do think that more safeguarding measures need to be implemented. I'm honestly not sure what we can do. Like, we can't expect people to prove their age, but at the same time, we need to be more vigilant and we need to be more aware of what goes on around us. And I do think an example that I think would be so interesting is a government anonymous helpline to allow people to implement, or not implement, sorry, apologies, but to say that, you know, this is happening to me. They don't have to tell them who they are, but it helps us understand who is, you know, who is causing these issues. You know, I don't expect victims to go, this is happening to me, look at me, you know, look at all my attention. I can understand, I've had issues before, and I don't want people knowing that they come from me. So I think an anonymous helpline, that would make such a big difference to those individuals. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We move to Mr. Remus. Thank you. We move to 30 seconds of rebuttals.
Question was asked, Mr. Remus, what you would do if you became leader, not what you're actively doing to not what you're actually doing as the director of the GAS. You're saying that people you're just going to ban them, but that doesn't just solve the issue. That just removes them from the community. Those people can go out to different communities and still have these things happen. So just saying you're going to ban them is just enforcing the rules. It's not actually solving the problem. Thank you.
Okay.
Trying to eliminate them everywhere isn't resolvable by just banning them. It really isn't. You need to actually have.
I'd like to remind people that this isn't real life and you can't somehow get airstrikes on them. So I don't know how you're eliminating pedophiles, but we will go with it. Question 5. This is a big one. I wrote this myself. It has been declassified by the Minister of Home Affairs that the Ministry of Cabinet Affairs conducted investigations into the conduct of both candidates on stage recently. While the investigations have not been fully declassified, we have been given that the advice from the Ministry of Cabinet Affairs to the Emperor on action has been taken. It's been confirmed that upon such advice, both Remus and Kelleher have received sections. Remus has received 2 sections under Section 1.9, and that a section may have been lodged under Section 1.7 but no action was permitted, and that Kelleher has received a section under Section 1.4 and 1.6. Why then should voters believe that the candidates on stage have the best interest for the people at heart when they have been sectioned? As a follow-up, actually no, I'll do that afterwards, after the rebuttal. We'll start with who started last time. Whoever didn't start last time, we're starting with you.
I believe that he started last time.
Okay, Remus then.
As in, he started answering last time first.
Oh, we will. Okay, well then he's already started. So. I believe that's all. Is it? Okay, thank you. Sorry. I know the Cabinet Affairs Code hasn't actually been declassified to the people, so I'll just say it very quickly. Section 1.9 basically means that ministers ensure that no conflicts arise between private interests and public duties. Mr. Remus was charged twice with that. What's the sections that Kelleher received? Section 1.4 reads... Where's it gone? Section 1.4 reads that office holders are expected to maintain professionalism, and Section 1.9 well, we know about that. Section 1.6, sorry, reads that ministers must provide the Prime Minister, heads of state, blah, 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 with truthful information. It also adds and stipulates that Section 1.6 adds that the minister, if they are found liable of breaking Section 1.6, may be required to submit their resignation. It was confirmed that no such resignation is expected to be submitted by Let's not zoom into my beard. Kelleher is not expected to resign, so we'll move to Kelleher now. If you need me to repeat the question, I'll say, because I know I just yapped.
No, I'm fine, but thank you. If I had been asked to resign, my resignation letter would have been given to the Emperor. I believe that that I owe my constituent and the people of Gaul the absolute truth, and I can agree with Mr. Remus. I definitely let the election get a bit ahead of I let myself get due to the election, and I take utter responsibility for it. As I said earlier on, I intend to take the responsibility for my actions, and if His Majesty the Emperor had asked for my resignation, it would have been given to him. There would have been no second guessing, no second doubts. He would have had my resignation, because I'm gonna all Constitution as Prime Minister, and I intend to uphold the Cabinet Constitution or Cabinet Code, and I intend to not to break those again. Thank you.
Okay, we move to rebuttals, 30 seconds.
No, I'm aware of that. I know how the Cabinet Code works. That's why I'm saying. That's why I'm saying I would have given him my resignation. There would have been no second guessing, is what I'm trying to say. If I would have given, I wouldn't. No, well, that's not what I'm saying. Now you're just putting words in my mouth. What I'm saying is he would have my resignation. I wouldn't be, I wouldn't try to fight him on it. I would give it to him. So you're just putting words.
Okay, that's 30
You're
seconds.
You're putting words in my mouth now, Mr. Remus.
30 seconds gone. As a follow-up question, would any candidate make changes to the Cabinet Affairs Code, and if so, what changes would you make? We'll start with Ms. Kelleher.
I believe that the Cabinet Code is the responsibility for the Minister of Cabinet Affairs. If that minister wants to make changes, it is totally up to them. The minister responsible for Cabinet Affairs in my government, for my government, will know what he is doing. He is more qualified. He would be, in my opinion, he'd be more qualified than me to deal with that. And I believe those are issues for him, because he knows what he's doing. I'm not saying I don't, but I'm saying I'd be more sure of his decisions than mine in that section, because he definitely knows what he's doing. Thank you.
We move to Mr. Remus. We move on now to the final question, based on the exterior. So this is one foreign policy question, because we have no more. With the setup of the new United States of America in the SLGU, it is clear that the shift of balance in America may shift dramatically. They have shown that they are willing to negotiate, especially with nations such as Cascadia. Can any candidate on the stage give a promise or a guarantee that they would enter negotiations with the United States of America to end all hostilities between Gaul, Gallic America and the United States of America? We will start with Mr. Remith. Thank you. We move to Ms. Kelleher.
We intend to defend Gaul's interests primarily, and if the US cannot understand that, then we will teach them what it means. I go a bit back with one of the church justices, with Justice Ginsburg. I would know her. She would have been one of my friends. I would have seen her when I was in college, and I would put that friendship aside and work to fight for Gaul's interests. Because Gaul is the nation that I will be Prime Minister of. I'm not going to be Prime Minister of the world. So that if Gaul's views and primary interests are not being upheld, then I will not be putting up with the US. Thank you.
We now enter rebuttals.
Also, Mr. Remith.
¿Cómo quiere usted su barbacoa?
Mr. Remith, you didn't promise to defend Gaul. You just completely said you'd enter a negotiation. You're leaving the door open for the United States to just come in and grab whatever they want. Like, that make that you're going to be the Prime Minister of Gaul, so why aren't you fighting for Gaul's best interests? That's what you're supposed to do as Prime Minister. You're not Prime Minister of the world, or you're not a maker of peace. You didn't say that though during the question. You only said it. We said it earlier on in the debate, and it's not related to. Well, you did it earlier on, so.
Okay, that's been 50 seconds. I gave you more time because of the weird ass harmonica recording, whatever it's called. Now that all questions are done, we move to open debate. Candidates will have let's not yell at each other. Candidates will in fact have 5 minutes to debate each other openly on any topic. Obviously, if they try and change it, then whatever, not my problem. Girls, have a fight.
Mr. Remit, you keep answering the questions in your own interest. You're not looking at the interest of the country. You're going to be Prime Minister of Gaul, not Prime Minister of whatever imaginary world you're living in. So when you're asked a question that relates to the security of the country, the laws of the country, answer the question. No, it clearly doesn't seem that way. It seems like you're focusing on your own personal interest, which I don't think would make a great prime. I think someone like me is fighting. Well, yeah, but if America can't see that Gaul has its own views, then I mean that's not exactly fighting for the interest of the country. Sometimes war is better than them just coming. First of all, let's stop calling it a regime. We have won those elections fair and square. And I think it says something when we keep winning the election that people want us. Okay, going back to World War III. As far as I'm aware, I think I was what, 16 during World War II. That has nothing to do with my party now. Okay, I was not Prime Minister. I wasn't even a member. I didn't even politics at that point. Yeah, and do you see that far right Prime Minister? Not here. That far right Prime Minister is pretty much arrested.
You were 20 during World War III, just a quick fact check.
Alright, thank you, sorry. I would still have had no interest in I had no interest in politics at that point. It wasn't until I really actually started school that I would have it.
At the time, you were in the University of Edinburgh.
I'm aware.
That's what it says.
I was originally studying foreign relations and not necessarily politics. Thank you. Yeah, well, he's not here. You're also, you keep going on about Mr. Remit this, Mr. Remit that, Mr. Remit. You're meant to be debating me, the leader of the party. You are obsessed with Mr. Remit. I mean, like, Joe, you keep really trying to debate already, but you also are praising him too. Yeah, apologies. I meant O'Reilly. Okay, I'm tired. I had a long day. It's very two-faced with Mr. O'Reilly. Okay, I do apologize that I made one slight mistake. I have had a very long day. I didn't realize that your name was such a big issue. I think that people can accept that their Prime Minister is tired every once in a while. You know, we're all people in the end. Even if that's not how you act from time to time. I wasn't referring to in time. I meant, whatever. I'm not even going to get into it because we're going to be here forever. I mean, it's a Saturday. You know, Prime Minister, everyone gets time to rest. It's a Saturday, not a day for rest. Does Mr. Remit think that the Prime Minister will be working 24/7? I don't think the people will.
It is like the Jewish day of rest. I'm just going to point that out. Shalom.
I mean, okay, Mr. Remit, look at it from this perspective. Imagine if your boss wanted you to work from 12 a.m. to 12 p.m., 12 full hours. Okay, I don't know, you're going off topic now. I'm asking you, I'm trying to give you an example. No, you're just so, you know, let's stick to what I'm trying to say. Imagine your boss was trying to make you work 12 hours. You would be tired after those 12 hours. Also, can I just ask, what inner party conflict are you even talking about? Because you're really just making yourself sound a bit interesting. Oh, I've been the root of inner party conflicts. I'm the one who's holding the party together. I'm the leader. You're obsessed with what you're... He left the party before I became leader. So that has nothing to do with me. That has something to do with... Also, one politician isn't every single person. You're just... Okay, do you want a tissue for your cough?
We get a fact check then. He didn't.
Okay,
that's what he says.
Do you want a tissue? Do you want a tissue for your cough? Because, you know, I don't want to be sick. Thanks. Going back to what I said for about the fourth time, because you keep trying to go off topic. You know, the Prime Minister is... Also, I don't understand how me being tired is gonna make me a bad leader. Yeah, I am quite tired. Also, do you know what's interesting? We have 11 candidates. How many do you have? Yeah, 6. We have 11. I think that says more than you need to know. Also, one candidate left. One candidate left. I mean, you lost. Is it 2 or 3 candidates? Can someone check that for me? Because they were banned from Gaul. None of my... I think
2 candidates. 2.
Thank you. A lot of those members are long-term members because they trust me as the party leader. And you know what? If you have an issue with us being the largest party, you can win the election, but... Yeah, okay, I don't think just because I've come from my views have changed does not mean I'm not incapable of being party leader. I'm well able to adapt, and my views have changed and adapted because I have changed as a person, and my views have become they've become.
It's been way more than 5 minutes, but this
My
is so
views
much
have
fun
become
and we have
my
nothing
view.
else to do.
If my views have become more conservative, that doesn't mean I'm trying to fit into a party. It means my views have changed. Well, I mean, it's a right-wing party, so if the party is right-wing, so I don't know why. Sorry, what is going on here? So, like, you know, I'm trying to push a party ideology. I'm not pushing whatever you haven't. I mean, your coalition has a communist party in it. That's a far left party. So you might want to have a look at yourself before you say my views are slightly different. Like them, the party's literally called the Communist Party of Gaul. You know. So unless it's somehow changed its name in the last 5 seconds, you know. Also, you keep going on about how it's social democratic. That's as far as my knowledge is correct, communism is considered extreme.
Not communism exactly, but after it was struck down by the corrupt and evil justices within the High Court, who I will find and will report one day.
It's called the Gaelic Communist Party, Mr. Remus. It is a communist party for a reason. I don't know what you're going on about, saying it's social. Okay, if you're going to this is low. Okay, I apologize. I say a word slightly different because of where I come from. I think that's really a new low level from you, Mr. Remus. I've seen you go low, but that is really a new one.
I'm just going to point out, sort of like a fact check, not really. Emma has before said Gaelic when saying Gaelic.
I just like to say that, like, this is going to be small. This is technically not relevant to the debate, but in Ireland that's how we pronounce it. Not so if you have an issue with my pronunciation, then I you know, you're attacking then where I'm from. So you just gonna make that aware.
I think if you talk about the language of Ireland, it would be called Gaeilge,
it's called
Irish.
It's called Gaeilge. So
Gaelic
yeah, and that's how it's pronounced in Ireland. So
okay, I'm gonna cut this because I believe that trying to speak about people's accents doesn't help. I know I have the best accent here, but there's no reason to make fun of other people's accents for it. But frankly, you don't, you Nottinghamshire prick. Anyways, no. Get the Northerner out of here, please. Can we get Henry the Northerner out? We don't like Northerners here.
I mean,
is anyone else a Northerner?
Is it actually professional for one of the candidates to say the rabies minister? One of the possible future prime ministers is calling a member of his own government the rabies minister. Is that really professional from the candidate? I wouldn't think so.
He has actually been diagnosed with rabies.
I still don't think he should be addressing him like that, and I think it's a bit low. So, you know, not exactly professional, but that's just. Yeah, pop culture isn't also bullying someone, but again, just my opinion. But oh god.
Okay, I think. Was I just yelled at? Right. I believe that's all. I have no idea what we do now. I'm pretty sure that's it. This has been the GBC debate by the grace of Empress Nicholas and Alexander. Oh, forgot about that. You guys get to speak again. For fuck's sake, I've got to listen to you two Coca-Cola. Hello. If you guys have planned a closing speech, I'm going to say it now. I'm disappointed because closing speeches usually reflect on what happened in the debate. So this needs to come from the heart. So we will start with Miss Callaghan because we started with Remus for the whatever blah 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 closing statement. 1 minute, let me get this down on my notepad. You can start whenever.
You said Miss Remit, so do you want to just clarify if you mean Mr. Remit or Miss Callagher?
I said Miss Callagher because I said we started with Remit.
Okay, sorry, I apologize, I heard that wrong. During this debate, Mr. Remit has constantly answered for his own interest. He keeps saying, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do this, but he's not thinking about the state of Greater Gaul's interest. He's not thinking about the actual people's interest. You know, he's jumping in he's making promises. He's attacking people for the way they pronounce words. He takes quite some time to answer questions, which is like he's twisting my words and other people's words. And I mean, do you really want that as a Prime Minister? Someone who just really is not he's not thinking about his people, he's really just thinking about himself. He's thinking about, him as Prime Minister. He's not thinking about the people he will represent when he becomes Prime Minister. And that is something I will do. I will fight for my constituents. And that is something I promise, and that's something I promised since the day I became before I became a senator. I promised I would fight for my constituents, and I intend to do that, and for every other person inside or outside my constituency. The limit does not go. There is no limit. I will fight for Gaul. I will fight for internally and externally. We are the ones who will define the limit. We are Gaul. We are second to no one. Thank you.
I'm going to remind candidates not to speak over each other. Okay, I'm presuming that's your closing statement. Oh, so is that have you got more, or? Okay, I'll just, whatever, you've got 1 minute 30. Set the timer for you because I feel bad. In 1 minute 30. Cameraman.
Is there a bottle?
Thank you. No, this was closing statements. That's it. We have heard statements from all parties, all spectrums, and all coalitions. We have, if you weren't decided on your vote today, I hope that this has helped decide your vote. We have just under 6 days-ish. We have just under 6 days until polling day. I don't know if there's arrangements for early voting if you can't attend, because there is only a 4-hour voting window. So, I do not believe that 6-7 is a funny joke anymore. This is like when Keir Starmer tried saying it, and I think you need to grow up. Anyways, I've been David Cohen. the audience, everyone stand up and cheer or something. Let's make it wild. This has been GBC election night, debate night. Sorry, not election night. Not yet. I've been David Cohen. I've been your host and moderator. Thank you. Good night.